Are you a breeder looking to showcase your show pigs? With a Walton Webcasting Show Pig Shoot, we are your go-to video service for capturing the full picture of your show pigs. We specialize in providing top-quality video services for breeders like you. Our skilled video team comes directly to your operation. You talk the pigs, we capture the video. Whether it's baby pigs, boars, gilts, or sows, we ensure that their unique features will shine through. With the power of our website and social media, your professionally recorded videos are streamed live, allowing potential customers from all over the country to view and appreciate the quality of your show pigs. We handle the technicalities so you can focus on what you do best, raising exceptional livestock. To schedule your next show pig shoot, call Rhonda at 765-431-7367. Welcome to the ultimate show on the track. Today we celebrate our premier partners, the driving force behind the livestock industry across the nation. Get ready to witness the power of partnership as our premier partners take to the asphalt. Green light and they're off. On the track we have our first partner, Layered Premium Blend Genetics from premiumblendgenetics.com. Next up, it's Beck's Hybrids from beckshybrids.com. And here comes Showright from showright.com. Coming around, we have Brad Howe Ford from bhiford.com. And here comes First Farmers Bank and Trust from ffbt.com. And rounding out the racers, it's Kennedy Ventures from kennedyventuresok.com. On the track and in the ring, it's all about collaboration and teamwork. Join us in honoring our premier partners because together they're the driving force of the livestock industry.
It's time for Cattleman's Congress. This is a Walton Webcasting production. Livestock like you've never seen before. It's time for Cattleman's Congress. This is a Walton
Pleasure to be here to sort through your junior Brangus, and I think we've got a trio of heifers here that I think come out here and size up just right. They've got a lot of quality to them. The female we're going to elect to start off with out here for me, and I think you've got some trade-offs. There's just more of her. I think she's burlier in terms of her build. She's a bigger boned heifer. I like the angle she's got to her hocks and pasterns, and how she's laid in through her shoulders so nice. There's no doubt the second place heifer's flatter shouldered. She's got a deeper sweep to her underline, but the second place heifer for me is one I'd like to stouten her up in terms of her leg work. You get right behind her, you'd like to see her wider in her pin set, lengthen her out through her neck. The heifer we round the class off with, a real sound structured kind of a female, one that's got some natural width and thickness and body to her. She gives up just a little bit in terms of substance and style compared to those top two heifers. Real nice class of Brangus heifers and a good way to start. Congratulations.
Congratulations to start out the Junior Brangus show. First place in class 1 will go to back number 3357. That was MP Miss Dior 1252N, exhibited by Kara McKee of Tatum, Texas. Second place in that class exhibited by Carly Taylor of Lakeland, Florida. Third place went to Elijah and Sierra of Lynn, Texas. We'll now welcome in class 2 early spring heifer calves born March of 2025.
class we've got here, and the young lady that pulls up first that's wheeling out there, I think, has got a really high quality one that's in the way that she's made. In terms of being loose, structured, and sound in the way that she goes, she does that quite well. Presented to a T from end to end. I like this female up through her front end. Her neck ties in so neat and smooth, the top side of her blades. She's loose down her spine, yet still level and functional out of her hip. That heifer's got a lot of power to her to go with that. She's really good looking. Congratulations to you. We get some trade-offs in second and third. I think the body type of our second-place heifer probably matched our first-place heifer. She's one that's got some bone to her. She's big-footed. She's a heifer, if we could change her on those rear two wheels, the way she goes, I'd like to loosen her up in terms of her structure, but in terms of being broody, being in the right kind of shape and condition for this time of year and having some pin width to her, she does that quite well. Young lady's third-place heifer that comes out next is flat-shouldered. She's strong and level to her top. She's a heifer that can get out and move. She gives up a little bit in terms of added body and softness, and the heifer we round the class off with. You like the moderation of frame size. She's practical in terms of her build. She gets a little shorter faced and shorter hip for me today. We'd like to lean her up in terms of her type. Nice set of heifers. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations in Class 2, first place, exhibited by back number 3358. That's KK Miss Lioness 924 and 14, exhibited by Clavy Allen of Crockett, Texas. Second place in that class, exhibited by Reagan Reeves of Livingston, Texas. Third place will go to Kennedy Horner of Tuscola, Texas. And fourth place, exhibited by Parker Saffold of El Dorado, Arkansas. We're now going to welcome in Class 3. These are late winter heifer calves born February of 2025.
Three really nice heifers we've got over here on the Brangus side of things. And the female we're going to start off with for me is one that I really think you dally and tie to pretty quick. She's sound structured. She's big-footed, a deep-heeled kind of a female. One that I think is plenty sappy about her middle, yet at the same time from her shoulders forward, she's got some elevation from her chest floor to the ground. She's a long-necked, lean-fronted kind of a heifer, still loose in terms of her structure out here and the way she goes. Really high-quality, special individual, I think. The second-place heifer that comes out next is a big bone female. I think from her shoulders back, she's long and level in the way that she's made. She gives up just a touch of added volume that we find in that class winner. Then the third place heifer, we round the class off with the sound structured kind of a female that can get out and go. She's one you like how level and square she is from her hooks to her pins. She's one for me. We'd like to just smooth her up just a touch in front of her shoulders. Nice set of heifers we've got out here. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations in Class 3 here in your Brangus show. First place, go to back number 3364. That's TCR Aria 302N8, exhibited by Madeline Eskew of Tarzan, Texas. Second place in that class, go to Paisley Warren of Lufkin, Texas. Third place, exhibited by Kendall Atkins of Haines City, Florida. We're now going to welcome in Class 4. This will be your final class here in our Heifer Calf division.
I think a tough top pair we've got out here in these calves, and I think you've got some differences. The female, for me, to start off with, is one that I think is just that much more burly in terms of her build. I think she's a bigger-footed, bigger-legged kind of a female, yet still clean in terms of her joints. One that's really uniform in terms of her body depth, and I think she's massive in the way that she's made. Great down her top and how loose she is, very functional and level and long out through her hooks and her pins and out through her hip. She does have a tick more shoulder on her out here, but I like how stout-bodied she is. I like how burly-made she is, and I like her size. The second place heifer for here, I think, is really eloquent in the way that she's made. Fit to a T. She's one that's smooth-shouldered. She's long-necked. She gives up a little bit in terms of massiveness and power compared to that class winner. I think that's being nitpicky on a heifer that good. The female we round the class off with is one that's good on her feet and legs out here. She's level and square from her hooks to her pins. She gives up just a little bit in terms of massiveness and power compared to those top two. Nice trio of heifers out here. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations in Class 4 before the division. Over here in the Brangus Show, first place, we'll go to back number 3371. That was WALCK, Queen Jasmina, 38N1, exhibited by Shelby Oldsby of Loudonsboro, Alabama. Second place will go to Catherine Allen of Crockett, Texas. And third place, exhibited by Claire Horner. We'll now welcome in those first and seconds, select a champion reserve heifer calves. Over here in the Simmental ring, we are getting started with your heifer.
Well, a really nice division we've got here on the Brangus side of things with our class winners and some good seconds over there against the wall. We've got the calf that came out of our first class in this division, as we talked about her before, in terms of skeletal length and having some soundness of structure and still some power and look. She does that quite well. The heifer that came out of our second class, ultra feminine featured in the way that she's made, very angular through her front end. I love her down her top and how level and square she is out through her hip and through her rump. She's one that's got a beautiful sweep to her underline, yet she's still athletic in terms of the way that she goes. The heifer that came out of the next class out here that's third in the lineup, one that I think is probably the most different we've got out here. She's feminine fronted, she's sappy middled, yet she's some power. I really admire the kind of condition and shape and rig they've got her in out here for this age. She's one that I think what you see is what you get, yet she's still got power and she's made right in terms of her line. Balances up very well. The heifer we've got down here that just came out of our last class, as we talked about her before, one that's ultra powerful in the way that she's made. Probably the biggest legged female out here in the lineup. She's got big feet on her with a deep heel and she can really get out and track. I like how pulled apart she is underneath and how stout she is when you get on the top side of her skeleton. I'll go out and take one more look. We'll grab you a champion reserve in this division. Before we do that, let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause, please. We move in the red side of things here in the Brangus show, and we've got a single entry to start off with, and the one that comes out is presented really nice. You like how much natural width and power she's got. She's widened her pin set, got a lot of flex and give off of both ends of her skeleton. Really nice kind of a female that's strong and long and level about her top, still up-headed and long-necked. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations. In Class 1 over here in the Brangus show to start out our red division. First place was exhibited by Dixie Endress of Ponder, Texas, with MCC Norma Jean 72N.
Really nice pair we've got here, and the young lady we're going to start off with, one that I think just outpowers and outmasses everything out here, but to go with that, she's got tons of quality to her. A long face, long neck, kind of a female that ties in so neat and even at the top side of her shoulder blades. She's strong topped, plenty of capacity and body to her when she gets out and goes. She hits the ground with a lot of flexibility off of both ends. To go with that, she's one that's got some added power and balance to it. The heifer we round the class off with, one that I think sure-footed out here. She's lean and trim in the way that she's made. She just gets a little bit out-horsed out here in this class. Two nice females. Congratulations to you. Another really nice pair of heifers we've got that come out here. And the light-colored heifer that we're going to start off with, for me, I think there's more of her. I think she's deeper bodied. I think she's got more power when you get right behind her and on the top side of her. She's one I like her in terms of her feet and legs. I think she's more uniform in terms of her body depth. She's more pulled apart through her lower one-third and mid-rib. The red heifer that we round the class off with, or I should say the dark red heifer, she's smoother shouldered. I think she's a longer spine kind of a female. She wants to get underneath herself just a touch when she goes. For me, I'd like to open her up down low. She's tighter in terms of her heart and forerib. Two nice females. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Back over in the Brangus ring, results out of Class 2 and 3. First place in Class 2 exhibited by Lydia Brown of Waxahachie, Texas. That was T.G. Coco 5004. Second place in that class exhibited by Tyler Taneka of Columbus, Texas. We then brought in Class 3 late winter heifer calves. First place was exhibited by Cheyenne Durheim of Chapel Hill, Texas. Second place went to Lila Porter of Abilene, Texas. Now in the ring, this is Class 4 before the division. Early winter heifer calves born January of 2024. Well, congratulations in Class 110, the Simmental Ring. First place to go to Buck Creek Ranch of Yale, Oklahoma, with BCR Time to Shine 075N. Second place exhibited by Caden James of Chandler, Oklahoma. And third place went to Kelsey Sedgwick of Sheridan, Indiana.
I think an interesting trio of heifers right here, and I think the reason why it probably gets just a little bit more challenging is you've got different types and kinds coming at you. The first place heifer the young man's got up front, there's no doubt she's powerful, she's husky, she's burly in terms of her body and the way that she's made. I like how big boned she is. She's one that's sure good on her feet and legs. She wants to get a nickel weaker right behind her shoulders, and she gets the little open right at the point. She's plenty big for me here for this age, but I like the added power. I like the added volume she's got. Young man does a good job of getting her put together on the stick. Heifer that comes out next for me, I think does have the advantage of just balancing up so well. She's so true right behind her shoulders and down her top, level and square back through her pins. She wants to be flatter and smoother at the point of her shoulder, yet when you compare her back to the heifer in front of her, she's a little shorter faced and shorter necked. We'd like to lengthen her out. Real long bodied, real feminine kind of a female that we've got to round the class off with. For me, we'd like to soften her up. Down low, we'd like to pull her apart and see her some more capacity in terms of her body shape. Three nice heifers out here with a close top placing. Congratulations to you.
This ring, results out of Class 4, first place exhibited by Taos Durheim of Chapel Hill, Texas, with Bar RBF Wildfires Nala 175N. Second place will go to Addison Brenneman, and third place exhibited by Haley Randolph. We're going to welcome in those first and seconds, so we'll select the champion reserve in this division.
Well, I think a really nice division we've got that wheels out in front of us out here with these females. The heifer that came out of our first class out here is a single entry. We talked her before. A female that's stout in terms of the way that she's put together. She's got plenty of type and kind to her. You like how pulled apart she is in terms of her rib cage and how much width she's got when you get over the top side of her. The female that comes out of our second class out here is one that I think you grab a gear with pretty quick. She's really eloquent in the way that she's made. She's long faced. She's long necked. She's smooth at the point of her shoulder. She's one that's got plenty of body and rib shape to her and plenty of muscle to go with that. When set in motion, she holds all this power together, so smooth on the move. She gives you a striking pose. Female that I think is really special in the way that she's built. The heifer that came out of our next class out here is a class winner, a smooth-shouldered female, one that's strong-topped and level and square, back from her hooks to her pins. A female that I think is very practical in the way that she's made. She's sound structured. And then a big burly one that just came out of our last class we just talked about, one that packs a lot of punch to her in terms of bone, in terms of having some power and body volume and some look to her. I think you've got a great lineup out here. I'm going to take one more look at them out here. We'll grab you a chance. Reserve. Before we do that, folks, help me out. Let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause if we could.
Well, congratulations, your champion heifer calf here in the Red Brangus show, coming out of Class 2, exhibited by Lydia Brown of Waxahachie, Texas. That's TG Coco 5004. And congratulations, reserve champion coming out of Class 4, exhibited by Taos Durheim of Chapel Hill, Texas. That's bar RBF Wildfires Nyla 175N. We'll now look to get started with your next division in the Black Brangus show. We're going to welcome in Class 7 late fall heifer calves born November to December of 2024.
think you've got a great class over here with differences all the way from top to bottom. This would probably be a judging contest nightmare for most coaches, but I think it's pretty easy out here for me. The heifer that leads this thing off with out here, she's one that I think is so eloquent and lean up through that front end. I think where she hits home is she's loose structured. That is a high-quality female that balances up well. She checks a lot of boxes in my mind in terms of her condition being just right. She has some power. She has some look. She has some future to her down the road. Young man, you've done a great job with her. The heifer that comes out next in second, there's no doubt. She's a bigger bodied kind of a female. She's one that's got some more size and scale on her out here. For me, if we could change this heifer, I'd like to smoothen her up through her shoulders. I'd like to loosen her up in terms of her spine. She wants to be a little bit tighter when she goes and see her hit her tracks more even as she travels. The heifer that comes out next in third, I think is a real up-headed kind of a female that's lean about her neck. She ties in smooth and tight at the top side of her blades and down her top. Gives you a beautiful look from the side in terms of being eloquent and having some balance. You get right behind her, you compare her to those top two heifers that just let out. She gives up a little bit in terms of massiveness, in terms of muscle. And then we've got two heifers that are very similar we round the class off with. Two heifers that have got some length of body. They're lean and trim in the way that they're made. For me out here today, I'd like to see some more bone and some more power in them. Nice set of heifers out here with an awful good one to start off with. Congratulations to you.
Brangus ring results on Class 7. First place, we go to back number 3388. That's WL Miss Unordinary P 38M, exhibited by Rodney Rhodes of Shepherd, Texas. Second place, exhibited by Lily Bondi of Okeechobee, Florida. Third place in that class, go to Tack Ferris. Fourth place, exhibited by Alexis Bondi. And fifth place will go to Briley Incy. We're now going to welcome in Class 8 here in the Brangus ring. Well, congratulations back over in the Simmental ring.
challenging top three you've got over here because they're different in terms of their type. And I kept going back and forth in my head out here, but the one I kept landing on is the young man up front here. In terms of balance, in terms of soundness of structure, in terms of being complete, she does that quite well. She's the most correct in terms of her feet and legs. I like how uniform she is from her heart clear back to her flank. To go with that, she's a real feminine featured kind of a female that balances up so well through her front end. She's still elegant and smooth down through her top. She has enough power to her in the way that she goes, and she's very sound structured. Congratulations. The young lady's heifer over there against the fence that comes out next in second. It's been a little bit tougher on the halter out here today. That's a big bone, big-footed, burly kind of a female. Compared to that class winner that leads out in front of her, she's a nickel steeper through her shoulders. She's more upright in her pasterns and knees. I'd like to set her back just a touch. But in terms of having some rib cage and some volume and some added width and some broodiness to her, she does that quite well. The third place heifer that comes out, I think, follows the kind of our second one. She's one that comes out. She's built real stout in the way she's put together. Widen her pin set. She's one for me. We'd like to change her in terms of her underline. And the heifer that we come out right next, young lady's got a real moderate frame, kind of a female that's practical in terms of her build. She's shorter face. She's shorter hipped. We'd like to lengthen her out. Young man's heifer we round the class off with. Real lean made in the way that she goes. She's flatter ribbed and lighter boned for me. Really nice set of heifers out here. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations in the Brangus ring. Results out of Class 8. First place was exhibited by Broxton Davis of Crockett, Texas, with ACC Shirley 674 M16. Second place will go to ACC Billie Jean 649 M11, exhibited by Allie Timon. Third place was exhibited by Emily Jackson. Fourth place will go to Chelsea Holloway. Fifth place exhibited by Elijah and Sierra.
A single entry that comes out here in this class, and one that's plenty stylish in the way that she's put together. Long and lean about her neck, and she's so beautiful up through that front end. Real level and square back to her hip. You like the way they've got her presented. The young man's done a great job of getting her showing out here. Congratulations on this single entry. Really nice pair of heifers we've got out here. And the female up front, the young lady's got there, is one for me that I think puts a lot of good things on the table for being this massive and this powerful and being this burly in terms of her type. And she's one that can really get out and go, and she's so flexible off of both ends. Big-footed, deep-heeled kind of a female. Her feet are pointed right. They're shaped right. She's got the right kind of angles to her. She's one that'll keep you going for a long time and have some longevity to her. To go with that, I love the rib shape. I love how stout pinned she is. But up front, she's long and level about that neck and still looks like a lady. That's an awful nice female. The heifer we've got down here in second that comes out right behind her, I think, is a long-bodied kind of a female, one that can really get out and travel. She's one for me if we could change her in terms of a balance standpoint. She wants to be a little deeper at the tip of her chest. She gets a little bit higher in terms of her flank and gives up some substance. Two nice heifers out here. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations back over in the Simmental ring. Results on a class of 112. The ring, our judge will select his champion reserve at junior heifers.
Well, I think another great division as we come out here at this drive, and there's no doubt the competition's hot. The female that came out of our first class in this division, as we talked about before, how tough that class was, and yet she came out and she gives you a good look. She comes back out in this ring, and one in terms of balance and looking like a female, she does that quite well, but she's got the added power and volume and substance to go with all that style that I think makes her really elite. The female that comes out right behind her, that was in our second class, one that I think is built a lot like her in terms of having some power and some look. She's super sound on her feet and legs. You like her undercarriage. When you get right behind her, you like how stout pinned she is and how functional she's made, yet she's one that gives you a killer look from the side. Really nice female that came out of our next class there, a flat-shouldered kind of a female that's in the right kind of rig and condition out here for me today. And then we've got our female down here on the end that we talked about that came out of our last class in terms of power and having some balance. She does that, yet she still does it in a real modern look about her. She's one that's got some soundness of structure. One I think you can find a lot of unique things about her as you stand back and study her. Great division out here if we could. Let's give them a big round of applause. We're going to go out and show you the two that I like. Congratulations.
Heifer over here in the Brangus ring coming out of Class 10, exhibited by Kinsley Rhodes, Shepherd, Texas. That's Origins Miss Hera 302M3. And congratulations, reserve champion coming out of Class 8, exhibited by Broxton Davis of Crockett, Texas. We'll go into your next division here in the Red Brangus Show. We're going to welcome in Class 7 late fall junior heifers born in November to December of 2025.
We're going to elect to start off with on this side of things is one for me. I think probably puts the most good out here in front of you. She's one that's really eloquent with some eye appeal and some power. She's really true down in terms of her top shape and sound, in terms of her running gear. She's one I like how much middle she's got. I think she's the right size for her age and her weight out here. She wants to get maybe just a scotch round out of her tail head or out of her hip, but I think that female is pretty cool in the way that she's made and how much power she's got to go with it. Young lady that comes out next in second. She may not have the cowboy haircut the rest of these heifers have out here, but I don't think she needs it. I think that one's ultra feminine the way that she's made. I think she's smooth-shouldered, great and loose in terms of her top and her spine, but still dead level, really square back through her hip. She's got some power and some foot underneath her, and she can get out and go. Compared to that class winner, she wants to be maybe just a nickel or flatter and narrower in the way that she's put together, but I like that heifer from a femininity and a balance standpoint and having some soundness of structure to go with it. Nice heifer that comes out next in third, one that's got some rib shape and some body volume to her. She's practical in terms of her frame size. She wants to break just a scotch right behind her shoulders. She wants to be lower front and kind of go downhill. We'd like to pick her up and see her more upstanding through that front 1/3. And the heifer we round the class off with, one that's got some body volume and some power and some massiveness to her. She's straighter through her knees and pasterns. We'd like to set her back just a touch. Really nice set of heifers out here. Congratulations to you.
Results out of Class 7. Also, your champion junior heifer here in the Red Brangus show, going to Truett Marks of Waxahachie, Texas. That was Tahoe Miss Melina 307 M10, and reserve champion exhibited by Chelsea Holloway. We're now going to welcome in Class 13.
out here. And in terms of having some look and some power and some eye appeal, she does that quite well. You'd want a whole field of them to look like her out front. So good on her feet and legs, yet at the same time, she's so eloquent from the side. You get right behind her. She reads with plenty of power. She's sappy about her middle. So even, I think, and refined in terms of her teat setting back there. That's an awful good female, very special in the she's made. The heifer that comes out next in second is one that's got some center body width in terms of depth. She's got some substance of bone to her. She's sound, structured in the way that she's put together. She gets out powered. She gets out horsed compared to that good one that leads out in front of her. And a long bodied, real level top kind of a heifer we've got to round the class off with. One of the young ladies done a great job of getting her put together. I'd like to see some more rib shape and volume in her. 3 nice heifers with a good one to start off with. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations over here in the Brangus ring. Results on a class 13. First place exhibited by Clevie Allen of Crockett, Texas, with CCC ACC Starburst 674 M14. Second place exhibited by Peyton Reeves of Livingston, Texas. Third place go to Molly Pruitt. We're now going to welcome in class 14.
Really nice pair we've got here on the Brangus side of things. And the female that leads out here up top to be first, for me, I think does so quite handily. Really broody in the way that she's made. I like how much power and added volume she's got. She's beautiful up through her front end. Big-legged, big-footed kind of a female that can really get out and motor around the ring. The female that we've got that comes out next in second, really a strong, level-topped kind of a female that's square back through those pins. She gets a touch shorter about her face and coarser up through that front end compared to that class winner. 2 nice heifers out here. Congratulations.
In class 14, first place exhibited by Emily File of Floresville, Texas. And second place and congratulations go to Bradley Ennis. We're now going to welcome in class 15 before the division.
As we come into this division here on the Brangus side of things, we've got our two class winners up front. We've got the heifer we talked about out of our first class out here. One for me, I think, is so cool to look at and study. Beautiful up through that front end. She's so balanced in the way that she's made, yet she gets out and moves around the ring like a baby calf when she gets led around out here and holds her top line and all this power together so good. I think she's really special in the way that she's made, being feminine yet being burly in terms of rib cage and having some stoutness of bone and foot underneath her. One, I think you see worlds of future and a lot of longevity. And big stout female that came out of our next class, one that plants down on a lot of timber in her feet and legs and being stout and burly legged. She's big footed, she's deep heeled, she's got the right kind of shape to her toes out here. I like how pulled apart she is underneath and how sappy middled she is, yet she's so functional and long and level back from her hooks to her pins. I'm going to go out and take one more look. I'll show you the one I like for champion. We'll grab your reserve. Congratulations to you.
Senior heifer in the Brangus ring, exhibited by Clevy Allen, Crockett, Texas. And congratulations, reserve in that division coming out of class 14, exhibited by Emily File. We're now going to get the ring cleared. We'll get started with your grand drive of our Black Brangus female show in just a moment. Back over in the Simmental ring, results out of our first class here in your junior heifer calf division. First place was exhibited by Brexton Graybill of
A little worried there. I thought I was a little quicker on the draw than Copeland over there. As we come out to your Brangus drive, if we could, folks, let's give them a big round of applause out here on these heifers. I think we've got a great set of them out here from top to bottom. I think the cattle have been very good and excellent all the way across, and hopefully you see the way I like them. I like cattle that are sound structured, that have some look, have some body to them out here, but yet have some future and have some longevity to them. I like cattle that have some fleshing ease, have some soundness of structure, but I like them stout and burly in the way they're made, and those are the kind that make it in my country. I think if you see these cattle and you stand back, you can see worlds of future and a lot of different avenues you can do things with. I'd like to thank the Brangus Association and the Cattlemen's Congress for bringing me out here. What a cool stadium you've got here. This OG&E Coliseum, there's not another one like it in America. This is a battlefield out here, and it's the first and the best that you can put together. Welcome to cattle country, but I think welcome to where they do it right. And you've got some young people out here that have done a great job from top to bottom. Your junior board's been awesome out here to work with. It's been a pleasure to sort through these cattle. I'm going to go out and show you the two that I like. Let's give them another big round of applause. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations back over the Brangus ring, your grand champion female, and congratulations goes Clevie Allen of Crockett, Texas. That was CCC ACC Starburst 674M14, and reserve champion in the Black Brangus division, exhibited by Madeline Eskew of Tarzan, Texas. That was TCR Aria 302N8.
Well, you come into your Red Brangus Heifer Grand Drive over here, and I think you've still got some power and heat. Competition's been stout and steady all the way across this out here. Great set of heifers we came through out here, ones that have some eye appeal and some look, some cattle that still have some show type to them, but they've got real-world things going on in terms of being sound structured, in terms of having some power and some future to them, and I think we've got that out here. Young people have done a great job. Stay involved in these associations out here. They'll help shape your future out here. Once again, thanks to the Brangus Association and their staff and board. You guys are top shelf and first class, and you got it going on. These Brangus cattle are red hot and rolling across the country, and for one reason, they're good cattle. You've got good people behind them. It's been a lot of fun to sort through these juniors. I'll go show you the two that I like. If we could, let's put our hands together one more time. Congratulations to you.
place female coming out of Class 2, exhibited by Lydia Brown, Waxahachie, Texas. That's TG Coco 5004. And congratulations, Reserve Grand Champion, exhibited by Truett Marks, Waxahachie, Texas. That's Tahoe Miss Melania 307M10. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We'll get started with your Ultra Black and Ultra Red female show here in just a moment in Arena 2. Back over to Arena 1, results out of Class 115 here in Simmental Show. First place exhibited by Rockin' P Livestock and Circle M Farms, Maysville, Kentucky, with J. Saul Rosie 5148N. Second place in that class was exhibited by Chloe Clark with R2C Marybelle 31N. Third place exhibited by LaFrance Cattle. And fourth place went to JC McGowan. Now in the ring, this is Class 116, Simmental heifers born January of 2025.
Well, as we start off our Ultra Black show out here with a single entry, I think we do so quite handily. A heifer calf that comes out here, and she's got some growth to her, and she's got some length up through that front end. Real feminine featured in the way that she's put together. From the side view, you like how straight and strong and parallel she is in those lines. You get right behind her on the three-quarter side. She's got power, and she's got some mobility to her. Nice single entry. Congratulations.
Congratulations to start out the Ultra Show. First place in Class 1, exhibited by Trinity Mitchell of Luther, Oklahoma. That's JG Miss 84N Throttle Moto.
Heifers you've got here, and we're going to start off with the red heifer to win this class. For me, I think there's more of her. I think she's stouter featured in the way that she's put together. I think she reads with more true shape down her top. She's wider in that pin set. She's got some muscle to go with it. To go with all this, she's got some base width. She's sound structured, yet she's still got some spring and shape to her rib. The heifer we've got that comes out next in second right behind her does have the advantage of being longer necked. I think she's longer faced. She's a longer topped kind of a heifer that still has some look to her. For me, she gets a little bit straighter and more upright through her knees and pasterns. She's pushed further forward up through that shoulder joint. We'd like to change her up there. Two nice heifers. Congratulations.
Congratulations in the Brangus ring. Results out of Class 2. First place will go to Anna Phelps of Prattsville, Arkansas, with ABF Tilly 909N1. Second place exhibited by Tack Ferris. Now in the ring, this is Class 3 late winter heifer calves.
We've got over here, and the young man's heifer we're going to lead off with. For me, I think she paints a prettier picture for me and Deanne of what I'm looking for. She's one that's athletic in terms of her structure. I like how much body and added power she's got. Yet when you get off on the side or any angle from her, she's one that gives you a really cool look from the side. She's loose in terms of her top line and structure. She's level and square back through her pins. She's got plenty of muscle and body to her. She's one that plants her feet and legs down so correct, and I think she's probably got the most substance and power of the pair. Young lady's heifer that comes out next in second, there's no doubt she's more chiseled about her front end. She's longer face. She's one that ties up so neat and cool at the top side of her blades. Really good down that top line. She gets off in her pins just a touch for me and gets a nickel rounder out here, but two high-quality heifers that I think are exceptional. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations in the Simmental ring. Results out of Class 116. First place in that class exhibited by Carver Pryor of Woodbine, Iowa, with Candy's Best 052N. Second place will go to Laura Franklin of Brownsville, Alabama. Third place was exhibited by Hank Hands of Lawton, Oklahoma. Fourth place will go to Brett Colantonio. Fifth place will go to Lexandria Clemens. And sixth place exhibited by Katie Lowry. We're now going to welcome in Class 117 before the division. Back over in the Ultra Brangus ring, results out of Class 3. First place exhibited by Broxton Davis. Second place was exhibited by Chelsea Holloway.
the uniform in terms of that body depth. She's got a few more wrinkles on her neck. She's got a shot more condition for me out here today. I'd like to stouten her up in her leg work. And then a smooth-shouldered, strong topped heifer we've got to round the class off with. One we'd like to see a shot more bone in her as she goes. Nice set of heifers out here. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations in Class 4. First place over here in the Brangus ring goes to Emily Jackson of Gentry, Arkansas. Second place, exhibited by Parker Saffold. Third place also will go to Parker Saffold. In fourth place to Madeline Nichols. We'll now welcome in the first and second selected champion reserve heifer calves.
Well, as we come out in this division in the Ultra Blacks, I think we've got a really good lineup out here in front of us. The first places and second place cattle. The female up front out here is one we talked about before, one that I think's really got some eye appeal and really feminine featured in the way that she goes. She's lean and trim in terms of her condition. And then the red heifer that came out of a class that was a tough pair out here. Big bone, kind of a female, one that's really pulled apart underneath. You like the added natural width she's got. Young man's heifer that comes out right behind her is one that I think super stylish in the way that she's made, but you get behind her and you study her, you appreciate the added width and thickness she's got. She's got muscle to her, but it's that long, smooth muscle, not that round muscle, and one that I like an awful lot from a balance standpoint. Yet at the same time, she's broody and cowy in the way that she's made, and I think you see a lot of future. Heifer right behind her, really eloquent in the way that she's made. A heifer we talked about how good fronted she is, how sound structured she is, yet she's still sappy about her middle and doesn't give up the style to go with it. I'll go out and show you the two that I like if we could. Let's give them a round of applause on this division.
We're here in the Ultra Ring, your champion, Heifer Calf, exhibited by Broxton Davis. Reserve champion, exhibited by Emily Jackson. Back over in the Simmental Ring, results out of that class before the division. First place exhibited by Charlie Mock of Yukon, Oklahoma, with PMTM XTB Novel N879. Second place in that class exhibited by Tilden Smith of Altus, Oklahoma. We'll welcome in those first and second selected champion reserve junior heifer calves. Congratulations in Class 7 over here in the Ultra Ring. First place exhibited by Caleb Horner of Tuscola, Texas. We're now going to welcome in Class 8.
Really nice single entry that comes out, and I like the rib shape about her. Big-legged kind of a female, yet she's still clean in terms of her joints. She points her toes all the right way. Up-headed kind of a female that's still real got a lot of eye appeal and eloquence up through that front end. To go with that, she's one that's stout in terms of the way that she's featured. Nice single entry. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations in Class 8 in the Ultra Ring. First place will go to Carly Taylor of Lakeland, Florida, with OCR Mamma Mia 948M. We'll now welcome in Class 9 late summer junior heifers.
You've got here, and I think you've got some trade-offs on both sides of these. I opted to go with a heifer for me. I thought had that much more to her. I think she's a bigger-bodied female. I think she's got more muscle, and she's got an added look to her. I like how big-legged and big-footed she is. She wants to turn out just a tick up front. She's maybe just a little bit straighter in those knees, but a heifer that can still motor around the ring. I like the added power and punch she's got out here today. That's a nice cow. The female that comes out next in second, I think, is so eloquent up through her front end. She's loose in terms of her spine. She can really get out and go. The differences I saw is when you studied both of them. She gives up some width. She gives up some power compared to that class winner. But I think that's real close placing on a pair that's different but so good. Congratulations to you. Another really nice division we've got here in the Ultra Blacks, and we've got our heifer that came out of our first class. As we talked about her before, real long-bodied, kind of a female that's really feminine featured, one that's sound in terms of her running the gear when she goes. And the heifer that came out of our second class out here, one that's a stout featured, kind of a female, one that's sappy about her middle. Yet at the same time, you get right behind her, and she's set functionally wider in terms of her pins. She's one that's looser in terms of her top and long and level out through her tail head set and her rump. The heifer that just came out of our last division out here that we just got done talking about, one that really hits you hard in terms of power and being massive and broody. Her rib cage, she's one that gives you a good show look, yet at the same time, she's one you sure like the future cow power she's got to go with it. It's been a great division out here. I'm going to go out and show you the two that I like. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Back over in the Simmental ring, reserve champion junior calf will come out of the same class, exhibited by Laura Franklin of Blountville, Alabama. That's RJ Bonney, N59. Well, congratulations, your junior heifer champion. Over here in the Ultra Ring goes to Rodney Rhodes of Shepherd, Texas. And reserve champion will come out of the same class, exhibited by Carly Taylor. We have a single entry to see before we go into the drive here of your Ultra Female show.
A single entry that comes out here, and it's also our division out here. A female that's loaded with style and power. She's got some level or some depth from her chest floor to the ground. One that I think smooth shouldered. She's good top. She's got plenty of about her. At the same time, she's one that gives you a great look from the side. Congratulations to you on this division winner and this class winner. Congratulations. Great ultra black drive we got over here on the Brangus side of things, and we've talked them all in class and division, and these cattle come back out here. I think they're really impressive. You crisscross these genetics, and what you see is the proof out in front of us. You see some cattle that have a modern look about them. They're powerful in terms of their build, yet they're still built for long haul, and they're built for business out here in terms of making cows, and I think that's what you've got. I like the lineup we've got. I like how uniform they are, and in terms of being productive, I think they've got worlds of future in front of them. More importantly, you've got good young people on the end of the halters out here. You got a junior board that's been helping us out here all day today that's been second to none. If we could, folks, let's give them a big round of applause. I'm going to go out and show you the two that I like out here in this drive.
Congratulations, your grand champion, ultra female here at the Cattleman's Congress, exhibited by Broxton Davis of Crockett, Texas. That's ACC Homecoming Queen, 649 and 3. And congratulations, the reserve grand champion, exhibited by Emily Jackson of Gentry, Arkansas. That's JJ Miss First Class, 322-7N. We do have a percentage female show to see before we conclude your Brangus show this morning.
Well, as we move into the percentage show, the Brangus side of things over here, the red heifer we're going to start off with is one that shines like a diamond in my eyes out here. In terms of having some power and some added look, yet still looking like a show heifer, have future to her. I think she does that quite well. Love the underline, how sappy middled she is. She sounds structured. She's one that's got some added look and power and muscle to her. That's an awful nice red heifer. The black heifer that comes out next in second, I think, is built a lot like her in terms of being high quality, in terms of having some look and some presence. She does that. She's maybe just a touch greener compared to our class winner, and that's okay. She gives up a little bit in terms of bone work and power out here, but I think that's a very, very good heifer. The female that comes out next in third is one that's had a little spirit out here today in the ring, and she's finally settling down. A long-fronted, smooth-shouldered, level-topped kind of a female, one that's got some spring and shape to her rib. She gives it just a shot of bone out here today. We'd like to stouten her up. And the black heifer, really long from nose all the way back to her tailhead set, level in terms of her top line. She's flatter and harder about her rib shape. She's one we'd like to loosen her up on those rear two. And the yellow heifer we round the class off with, one that's real practical in the way that she's made in terms of soundness and having some size and scale and some body. She's one we'd like to balance her up from end to end a touch better. Nice set of heifers out here. Congratulations. Faced heifer calf and one that's really sound in terms of her running gear. I like the added depth and volume. She's got one that I think gives you a good look from the side, but one that gives you a look of some future and some longevity to her. She's real conservative in terms of the way that she's made. I like how she's put together, one that I think will make a good cow down the road. Nice female. Congratulations to you. Really nice February that comes out here, and she's one that I think is really eloquent from the side, yet at the same time, she's one that's got some power and she's got some punch to her. Her front end blends in so good with her forerib and her body, and her undercarriage is so deep and smooth. To go with that, she's great on her feet and legs. She's got some added power, some added look. Young man, you do a great job of getting her put together and showing out here. Congratulations to you.
Well, over in the Brangus ring, we're going to bring those first and seconds in. We'll select a champion reserve heifer calf. Back over in the Simmental ring, results out of that last division. Your champion senior heifer calf exhibited by Anna Lawrence Allen.
Really nice lineup of percentages over here. We've got a Brangus side of things, and the young man's red heifer that's up front in terms of in this class out here that came out of our first class. We talked about her before. She's one you gravitate towards pretty quick, I think, in terms of functionality and having some power and look. Still looking like a female, being a show heifer and being designed just right. She does that quite well. To go with that, she's presented to a T out here, and I think she's really fresh in terms of her appearance. The bald-faced heifer, that was a single entry, as we talked about her before. One that's real practical and sound structured. She's got some added massiveness in terms of her rib shape and her body. She's the one that's loose structured and gives you a good look. Heifer down on the end, the young man's got, he just let out. One that's designed really right in terms of being big boned and powerful, yet at the same time she's flat shouldered. She's easy to study and look at. He does a great job of getting her put together too. I'll take one more look in this division. We're going to go out and get you some division winners. Congratulations to you.
Well, congratulations over here in the Brangus ring. Your champion, heifer calf, coming out of Class 1, exhibited by Truett Marks, and reserve champion also will come out of Class 1, exhibited by Clevy Allen. We have a single entry to see, and then we'll go into your grand drive here of our percentage Brangus females.
Over here in the percentage show, and one that's stout featured, and it gives you a great look from the side. She's an up-headed kind of a female that's big in terms of her feet and legs, and she plants them down on a foot that's got some heat to her. I like how strong top she is. She's got some width and power when you get right behind her. Nice female. Congratulations to you.
Results of the Class 14 and your senior heifer, exhibited by Kara McKee of Tatum, Texas. We'll now welcome in those division champion reserves and select a grand and reserve grand champion percentage female. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as they enter the ring, let's put our hands together and thank our judge joining us from Merced, California, Mr. Matt Leo.
Well, it's been a lot of fun out here today to sort through your Brangus show, and as we wrap things up with your percentages out here, if I can tell you anything, you guys got it going on. You got it going in the right direction, and you've done a great job. You young people that are out here showing and helping out, one thing that I think is always so important to do, and if it wasn't for these in my life. Take time to thank some of these board members. Take time to thank the people around the ring that are helping you and the show staff, because they're the ones that make it happen. Cattleman's Congress, there's no doubt this show is awesome out here. It's a lot of fun to come back out here after a few years, and I think I judged a few breeds at the first one they ever had and came back in this building and sorted through it. It's one of these events that you never forget because they do it right. It's first class. It's designed for cattle people, and it's a lot of fun out here. It's been a great show to sort through out here. My compliments go out to the Brangus breed. You've got some great cattle. You've got some cattle that I think are headed in the right direction, and it's no hidden secret why these cattle are in such demand across the U.S. out here. They're stout, they're powerful, they've got some mothering ability, they've got some carcass merit to it. You've got some good leadership at the top all the way across on this thing, and it's been a lot of fun. Brangus breed, it's been a pleasure to be a part of y'all today in the Cattleman's Congress. I'm going to go out and show you the two that I like for Grand and Reserve. If we could, let's give them a big round of applause, and thank you for having me out here today. I enjoyed it.
Ring, your grand champion percentage female was exhibited by Truett Marks. Reserve champion will go to Kara McKee, Tatum, Texas. Apologies on that. Reserve champion goes to Clevie Allen of Crockett, Texas. Again, congratulations to all of those exhibitors. Back over in the Simmental ring, results out of Class 21 before the division. First place exhibited by Laura Franklin. Second place in that class will go to Brett Pembroke.